Hey witches, welcome back to another video. This is Starboy, the Cosmic Witch, and we're going to be doing our reading for the new moon, February 20th, 2023. So how are you all feeling this new moon? On the day after the full moon, February 5th, we had a tragic event happen with the Turkey and Syria earthquake, where we have had a humanitarian crisis of over 40,000 people dead. So that is a major thing that's going on in the energetic fields right now of the earth, and maybe you're feeling a sort of melancholic, darker, heavier energy in the aftermath of that event. I have been feeling a heavier, darker energy, and at first I didn't understand where it was coming from. I thought I was just going through like a depression phase or something, but then it connected the dots for me that I was actually feeling the psychic waves of this major catastrophe and natural disaster, and all of the death and dark energy coming off of that. So maybe you are also feeling this sort of heavier, darker energy around this time. What I'm feeling psychically, as far as information coming in or guidance, is that grounding energy is needed. This dark moon is a time to do some grounding work, centering, maybe reconnecting to Mother Earth, reconnecting to nature, sending love to the planet, sending love and healing to the earth, and just out into the atmosphere, to the world, to all of the people that have been affected by the tragedy of the earthquake. Because the message that I'm getting is these sort of events, they do have the power to affect the atmosphere of the planet. They can affect us on the psychic level with these waves that ripple out from these tragedies and these disasters. But we can also change the energies by sending our own energy out, especially if we do it in mass as a large group of people, sending love and healing to the planet. We can also create ripples and psychic waves that spread across the planet. And this is one of those things that's not often talked about, I feel, among the witch community. And I've talked about it a lot, using our powers for more than just ourselves, using it to heal the planet, using it to cause positive change on a large scale. And so the message that I'm getting for this dark moon is also that we need to do this work. We need to send healing, we need to send love, we need to send blessing and positive energy into the psychic atmosphere of the planet at this time in particular. If we look in the Witch's Almanac, we can see the dark moon is on the 20th. It says let go of pain. It also says lay on the ground, lay on the earth at the end of this week. So to me, that feels like that does resonate with what I'm feeling psychically. We need to put healing and loving energy out to the planet. We need to ground ourselves. We need to center ourselves and not allow the negative psychic energy that's coming off from this disaster to get to us and affect us in a negative way. Like, it's good that we can pick up on these things as psychic people, as witches and energy workers and whatever you may call yourself. It's good to have psychic sensitivity and be able to feel these things, but we also need to be aware that we're not a victim of these energies. We receive the information, we can feel them, but we then take that information and act upon it. We need to send out our own energies to counter them, right? So that's majorly what I'm feeling on the psychic level with this. So I've been burning a lot of Palo Santo and saging a lot. Like I said, this has been ongoing from the 5th. The full moon on the 5th. The earthquake happened on the 6th. And there's just been this ongoing dark energy coming out. So I've been doing a lot of Palo Santo, I've been doing a lot of sage, and just grounding myself, centering myself as well. With that said, we're going to go ahead and look at the astrology. So you can see that the sun, the moon, and Saturn are all conjunct in Aquarius during this new moon. So with Aquarius, we really have highlighted the energy of connection to other people. It's a humanitarian energy. It's a humanitarian sign. So there's that energy of helping other people, connecting with others. It's a good time to do magic for friendship, love, and healing. And it's a great sign to do magic for the benefit of other people. Aquarius energy is also about creativity and creative expression. It's a sign of ingenuity and free thinking as well. So something to do with getting in touch with maybe deeper aspects of your creativity and your creative expression and your liberation and your freedom as well. Themes to do with those things might come up with this dark moon as well. Of course, at every dark moon, the sun and the moon are conjunct, so there's the balance between the inner self, the emotions, the spirit of the moon with the outer expression and the image and the communication and all of the outer aspects that come into harmony and balance at the dark moon. Now with Saturn being there, that's where we're getting the heavier energy as well. Saturn is about limitation, boundaries, breaking things down. It is also an energy of destruction in that sense. So once again, these energies can go either way. It could be things that are limiting you. Like I said, with the Aquarius energy, it's about getting in touch with deeper levels of self-expression, deeper levels of creativity and things like that. So there could be limitations that you are breaking through within yourself. So again, when we sort of ground and center ourselves, that's when we get into our power. That's when we get into, our truest self. And we can easily shake off anything that is a limitation, anything that is sort of blocking us or making us feel bound. And so again, that's where comes in the healing energy, because we're breaking through limitations, we're breaking through bindings, we're breaking through anything that's blocking us. And so that's also healing. And if you guys remember, healing energy was the big thing I was feeling at the February 5th full moon. So there's some of that still playing into this as well. So altogether, once again, we have these themes of healing, we have these themes of grounding, centering ourselves, breaking through limitations and bindings, getting in touch with our creative expression and our truest selves through the grounding aspect. And with all of the Aquarius energy, we have the aspect of sharing our healing, sharing our light, sharing our love with others and with the planet. And once again, we could use that Saturn energy in a positive way, that reductive power, through the shedding away, the cleansing of what's not serving us. So again, it's also about how you use these energies. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the cards. I'm going to be using the Star Spinner Tarot and the Starseed Oracle. Please give us your divine guidance for this new moon. Is there anything that we need to know or do or be aware of at this time for our highest good, greatest success and joy? Please give us your divine guidance now. Thank you, and so mote it be. The first card that we have is the Ten of Coins. Now this card, I believe, came up in the last reading or one of the last two readings. With the Ten of Coins, we have a card of protective energy. It's a card of boundaries, once again with that Saturn energy. This is like an energy of a fortified castle wall, like that type of protective power. And a lot of times this card has to do with family and close loved ones. It could also have to do with tradition. We see this man with his dog, and that's sort of the energy of this card. That loyalty, that companionship, and the protection, the safety, the security, the love that comes through that. The support, the healing that comes through those type of relationships in whatever form they may take. Ten of Pentacles also speaks of abundance. So once again, the message of this card is that there's nothing to fear in regards to your security, your safety. You are well taken care of. You are well looked after. And everything is well in hand. I feel that this also speaks to that grounding energy I was talking about. As we think of, once again, the castle, I think of roots, putting down roots, a tradition and family with this energy. So there's that grounding energy as well, and how that's also protective, how that's also healing, and how it's like a support system. Now that's really important to keep in mind, because the next card is the devil. And what do we see here? The bound up energy, the binding, the limitations, the barriers, those things which ensnare and entrap us or make us feel held down or pinned down. And that really is the main message of the devil card. It's the energies of entrapment, binding, limitations, the things which hold us down and hold us back, the people, the energies, whatever form the devil takes. Once again, this could be some shadow work that you need to do. Maybe these are self-imposed limitations and doubts and things like that that are holding you back, binding you, keeping you held down, keeping yourself in a box even, not letting yourself be creative, not letting your true self-expression come out. So once again, that plays into the astrology and getting in touch with that deeper self-expression like I was talking about at the beginning. So this could be like an internal struggle. It could be other people that are putting you in a box, trying to keep you as something that you're not. Okay? Trying to stifle your energy, stifle your creativity. It can come in that form. Actually, you can go and watch my video about selling yourself to the devil, because everything I was talking about in that video are a lot of the archetypes and themes of the devil card as well. So if you want to really in-depth, go watch that video or rewatch it. But that's the energy coming up here, and so the devil can take many forms. Now when I see this coming up right after the Ten of Pentacles and the sort of castle walls here, you know, once again, this is the Saturn energy, both of these cards. We have the positive aspect of the Saturn energy and the negative aspect of the Saturn energy. It can be used for binding, for putting up barriers and limitations in a negative way, or it can be used in a positive way, putting up those castle walls, putting up those boundaries, creating a secure and safe space. It's a double-edged sword or a double-sided coin. As with all things, there's a positive and a negative use of it. So when I see these together, it's almost like it's giving me a message of be careful with this dark moon and with these energies that are going on in the astrology. Like I said at the very beginning, these are just energies, and we have to be the ones that take responsibility for how they're affecting us and how we're using them. And I feel like that also actually ends up playing into the final card of this spread. We have the Five of Cups, and that's what this card is about. It's about your perspective, your point of view, what you're focusing on. With the Five of Cups, you know, usually 3 cups are spilled, but 2 cups are remaining. So I feel like this really highlights what I was talking about with these psychic waves of energy. So you can see this tidal wave sort of overtaking these people. And this woman looks really distraught. But look what we see above. The dove, bringing in that message of hope and of light. And she is standing safely on the shore. She's not actually caught in the water like these people are. She's safely on the shore, but she's looking at this event. She's watching this, and she's letting it affect her emotionally on the internal level. And so that's what we have with the Five of Cups. When there's dark energies around us in the world, in our lives, we can internalize it, we can let it be this devil card, and we can let it bind us and trap us even into dark emotions, into dark moods, right? Even things like that, depression, melancholia, those are a type of entrapment and binding on our ability to feel good and have wellness, and our mental and emotional wellness. So we have to take care that we don't let these energies overwhelm us. Like I said at the beginning, we can be receptive to energies, but only in so much as we then act upon it. Don't let it overtake you and just do nothing. Be proactive, do something with the energy, shift it if you have to. Put your focus on this dove instead of the waves of darker energy. Put your focus on this dove instead. And don't underestimate your power to send out positive energy. If you're in a situation where you're not getting any positive energy from other people, from other situations, from your spirituality or whatever, if you're not receiving positive energy to counter the dark energy, then you can put out positive energy yourself. And how do we do that? Once again, it circles back around to the Aquarius energy and sending out love, sending out healing to other people, to the planet. When we send out loving energy, it heals us as well. When we put our focus on being of service, being of a loving energy, being of a light energy, it heals us as well, because you become a channel for it. And as you're channeling that loving energy through, it heals you, even as you're giving it to others. So that can be what breaks you out of this devil energy. If you feel you're entrapped in this, if you feel you're being weighed down with this darker energy, break yourself free of it. This dark moon. Ground yourself. Connect to the healing energies of the earth, of the goddess, of the spirits, whatever you connect with spiritually. And connect with that loving, healing energy. Let it flow through you into the planet, into the atmosphere, into your life, into your world, into the people that are around you. And really be that channel this dark moon. It will be of great service to the world at this time, but it will also be a benefit to you in your healing journey. Let's go ahead and pull a Starseed Oracle card and see if we get any further guidance. Please give us your divine guidance for this dark moon. Is there anything else that we need to know or do or be aware of at this time for our highest good, greatest success and joy? Please give us your divine guidance now. Thank you, and so let it be. Interesting. I thought this card might come up. We have the Void. Stop. Embrace winter. Great cosmic womb. So once again, this is giving very much Saturn energy. Right? The void. The darkness. The abyss. And again, this card highlights the positive aspect of that energy. Using it as a positive power. It's the great cosmic womb. It's the fertile soil out of which creativity springs. It's telling us to stop and embrace winter. So I feel like that really resonates with the need to ground ourselves. Pause, right? Acknowledge what we're feeling. Embrace it. Accept it for what it is. And then ground ourselves and release it, right? Let's go ahead and read the book meaning. Once again, please forgive this ugliness on this nail. I figured out it's when I use this one specific nail polish that I got. It does this to my nails for some reason, so I'm just gonna have to stop using that nail polish. But yeah, sorry about that. The void. Everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown, to allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the new seeds growing within you, regardless of whether you know what they'll one day become. You're being called to surrender to the mystery of what's next, to rest and to allow the winter of your life to do the work for you. To hand over your control and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface, it doesn't mean things aren't at work. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us, right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknowable. Now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or life phase, when we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with. When you're in the void, it can feel scary, and as if you should be doing something. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of your life. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life? So that's a nice card to have at this time. So the void is bringing in the message that again, it's okay for us to pause. It's okay for us to stop and just take a moment to just be. You know, that's what I mean when I say grounding anyways. It's just releasing, letting go of that need to always be connected and always be, active and doing something. When we ground and center ourselves, that's what it's all about. It's just about letting go of everything. And just in that stillness, we find our true self. In that void, that's where our true self is. And it's the most powerful part of us. And so this card is talking about surrendering to that part of ourselves. Sometimes we just need to go within and surrender to that part of ourselves and just let it do its thing. We don't even have to know what's going to end up happening. We don't even have to know what's going to spring out of this darkness, what's going to come out, what creative force is going to arise out of this pause, out of this darkness, out of this grounding. So we don't even have to know what's going to come out of it. We just have to know that it's what our soul is calling us to do at this time, and just surrender to it, let it happen, let it do its thing. And this is what natural magic is. Not necessarily planning or, this big elaborate thing. Natural magic is about surrendering to that true self within and just letting it do its thing. Your soul knows what it needs to do. You don't have to tell it what to do. You don't have to always be directing it. Not all the time. Because where do we get our guidance from? We get it from our soul, right? It's our soul that's guiding us, and we're not guiding it. So sometimes we just need to surrender and let it do its thing. And that's really what the Void card is telling us here. So when the Void card also talks about a time of rest, embracing the winter time of the soul, that's also what we're being called to do at this time. Just rest, retreat within. Like the almanac said, lay on the earth. Okay, it's time to ground, it's time to center, it's time to rest. And let this void overtake you. Because it's from this energy that your next phase is going to blossom when it's ready. And you just have to trust that process. And again, it's when we fall into that void energy, that's when we lose all these limitations as well. That's when we lose all these bindings. They just fall off of us because we're letting go. And that's the only power that the devil has over you, in whatever form it takes. At any point, you can walk away from this energy and just not let it affect you anymore. So we need to be like this happy old man, just living his best life with his dog, not giving a fuck. Not right now, not at this time. Let go of all of this darkness in whatever form it's taking. Stop focusing on it. Let it go. Focus on the light. Focus on that bird. Focus on the healing. Focus on your healing. And then allow that to blossom and take whatever form it takes and spread out from you to the world and to those around you. So my final suggestions for this dark moon would be that you do some sort of spiritual bath maybe, or something along the lines of that. Just some self-care, some self-love, as you just let yourself disconnect from everything and retreat within. And as you do so, in the coming days, you will be reborn. Something will blossom out of that darkness. Something good for your soul, what your soul knows it needs to do to move forward to the next phase or to the next chapter. And just the final and closing thought I was talking about the negative energy waves coming off from the earthquake event and that tragedy and how that sends out this melancholic energy. These things affect us on a personal level as well. And so even though I do say we should send healing to the planet, we should send healing energy out into the atmosphere, into all the people affected, it is also affecting us on a personal level. So we need to make sure that we take care of our own health and our own well-being during this time by doing the things I suggested in this video and that the cards told us. And just remember that the greater that we take care of ourselves, the more we're able to then provide light and love to others. And remember that the more that we give healing energy and loving energy and allow that to channel through us and give to the world and give to others, the stronger that channel becomes and the more that it opens us to that healing, loving energy as well. So with that said, that's what this dark moon seems to be all about. So I hope this reading helped you. If you would like to get in touch with me for a private reading or spell work services, you can contact me through the methods below in the description box. If you would like to join my Patreon and have access to all of my advanced magical lessons and courses, the link for that is in the description box as well. I would like to thank my current patrons. Please make sure to like and subscribe if this reading helped you, and I will see you all in the next videos. As always, until next time, Hail Hecate, hail to the witches, hail to the fairies, and blessed be.